She wore the ring, but he gave her nothing. She wore his ring with pride. She bore his name with honor. But when it came time to love her, he chose another. Her silence was mistaken for strength, until it broke her. Welcome to Classic World Tales TV, where every story touches your soul. Like, subscribe, and share, because what you're about to hear is not just a story, it's the silent scream of millions. In the busy streets of Benin City, where KK horns echoed at sunrise and the smell of akara mixed with morning dew, there lived a woman named Martha Ighodalo. She wasn't famous, she wasn't rich, but her heart was deeper than any ocean, and her love, loyal beyond reason. At 24, she met Darlington during NYSC in Oyo State. He was lanky, full of dreams, and broke. Martha, too, had nothing but hope. They bonded over roadside suya, unpaid allowances, and whispered dreams under the fading orange sun. Darlington told her, "One day, you'll wear white and walk into a house with my name on the gate." She smiled, believing him. He had nothing. She believed everything. After service, they returned to Benin. Darlington opened a small phone repair kiosk. Martha got a secretary job. It paid peanuts, but she always managed to squeeze out money to buy tools for his shop, or bring him lunch, even when she hadn't eaten all day. One evening during a heavy downpour, Darlington proposed with a silver ring that turned her finger green within 2 weeks. But Martha didn't mind. She wore it with joy, not for what it was, but for what it symbolized. Their wedding was simple: borrowed canopies, plastic chairs, ankara from Lagos Island Market. Her mother whispered during the vows, "I hope this man never forgets the woman who lifted him when he was crawling." Nobody knew those words were prophecy. They moved into a flat on Okolo Street. The walls were cracked. The bathroom had no tiles. The kitchen sink leaked, but it was theirs. When gas finished, she cooked outside on firewood. When there was no money for diapers, she tied old wrappers. She bathed their baby under the sky and sang lullabies as rain tapped the zinc roof. Darlington's business grew. One shop, then two, then a small office. He bought a Toyota Camry. He stopped picking her up from work. He started answering calls with his back turned. He began saying things like, "Martha, abeg, don't stress me, I'm busy." Her name, once spoken with warmth, became a placeholder for frustration. But she remained loyal, prayed more, spoke less, believed the phase would pass. One Sunday, they attended a wedding. Martha wore her best lace. She tied her gaily so tight her temples throbbed. As they walked in, Darlington walked 5 steps ahead of her. When someone greeted him and asked, "Is this your wife?" he smiled and replied, "She's my madam." The reply came softly, "Oh, the first wife." First wife. A title she never applied for. A label that pierced her chest. Martha noticed his phone was now always on silent. He took trips more often, started buying perfumes she didn't recognize, and wearing shoes that clicked too sharply on tiled floors. Then came Tonya. Light-skinned, always posting. Boutique owner, 22,000 followers. Martha first saw her as a WhatsApp status update. Darlington had uploaded a boomerang of their hands clinking wine glasses at a lounge in Asaba. She didn't ask questions. She just started fasting. The truth came not in a fight, but in a toast. Darlington came home one night, smiling. He poured her a glass of wine. She thought it was romance. He said, "I want to tell you something. I've taken another wife. Her name is Tonya. She's pregnant." Her glass fell and shattered on the tiled floor. So did her heart. He continued eating yam porridge that night, as if nothing happened. As if her soul hadn't been crushed beneath the weight of betrayal. In the days that followed, she still cooked, still ironed his clothes, still smiled when the children were around. But the light in her eyes died. Her son Ebuka, just 15, looked at her one night and asked, "Mummy, if you cry inside, does God still hear it?" She looked away. Tonya came to visit the house. She entered the kitchen and said, "Madam, where's the blender? I want to make a smoothie. I don't do hand mixing." "Madam," but the tone was coated in scorn. She changed the curtains, rearranged the chairs, laughed too loudly. Darlington didn't stop her. "Let peace reign," he always said. But peace was a privilege, no longer living in that house. Martha began to write letters to God. One night, she picked up her pen and wrote, "Dear Darlington, I was the one who stood with you under the rain when all you had was dreams. I gave you my youth, my womb, my prayers, and you gave her my place. You say I'm quiet, but silence doesn't mean strength. Sometimes it means I'm dying slowly. If love is a journey, why did you leave me at the bus stop?" She folded the letter, placed it in her Bible, and continued boiling rice. Her body began to fail. Fainting spells, headaches, coughing blood. The doctor said, "Her body is breaking. Her blood pressure is sky high. She's depressed. She's exhausted. She needs rest." Rest? From what? From carrying a marriage alone. Darlington offered to send her to a specialist, but he didn't go with her. Tonya posted brunch photos on Instagram. #wifey vibes. Martha lay in a hospital bed, her drip swinging beside her, scrolling through the same phone she once bought for him on loan. One afternoon, Ebuka came home and found her collapsed on the kitchen floor, her head near the gas cylinder, her hand still gripping a spoon. Neighbors rushed her to the hospital. Darlington arrived 6 hours later.
Ebuka shouted, "Where were you? She almost died."
Darlington had no words. He didn't have any left. Martha withdrew from life. She stopped attending church, stopped picking calls, stopped making jokes with her children. She stared out of the window often, whispering, "God, if this is my life, just make it useful for my children." Her daughter, Chiamaka, wrote a school essay.
The strongest woman I know. She doesn't wear makeup. She wears wrapper. She doesn't hold microphones. She holds broken promises. She doesn't fly, but she carried me through storms. She is my mother.
The teacher read it aloud during PTA. Parents cried. Darlington kept his head down. Some mirrors don't need glass to reflect shame. One Saturday morning, Martha left. No noise, no drama. She carried her Bible, a Ghana must go, and her 3 children. She moved to a small one-room apartment in Usulu, started making chin-chin and puff-puff, sold to banks and schools. People laughed, but she kept rising. One day, Darlington came to visit. His business had collapsed. Tonya had left him for another man with a bigger Benz. He looked hungry. She served him food. He said, "You're still kind."
She replied, "No, I'm just healed."
This story isn't just fiction. It's truth, stitched in the hearts of thousands of Nigerian women. To the one who wore the ring, but received nothing in return, you are seen, you are not forgotten, you are not alone. This is for every mother who cried in secret, so her children could smile in public. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Classic World Tales TV, where stories heal the heart.